Welcome everybody to this Friday edition of Renegade Wrestling. I am your host JJ Williams, and I'm here to answer some of your questions as well as talk a little bit about some indie wrestling this week. This past Sunday I was fortunate, I guess, to go to my first Lucha Pro Wrestling show. They run out of LA. And let's go ahead and take a look real quick at what happened that night. Dun, dun, dun. El Cheeto Hector Canales defeated Sean Winchester. Hector Canales I haven't really talked about before on the show because, well, he doesn't work Battleground Pro Wrestling or Pro Wrestling Massive, but I've seen him before at the former NWA Hollywood, now just known as Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. He's a hell of a worker, all-around good guy. He was able to get the victory over Sean Winchester, who was very unlikely heel. Sean Winchester is a heel. Look him up on Facebook. He reminds me of when Spike Dudley was supposed to be the boss of the Dudleys. It's like, that's the size he is shorter than Spike, but about that build. After that, Sean Heads defeated Mikey O'Shea. Pretty fun match to watch. We went to intermission, came back, and Hector Canales wrestled a second match, this time losing to Blood Eagle, but he did a completely different gimmick. It was like the first match he was, big, bad, tough Mexican, and then this match he slipped a pair of his trunks down and had a second pair, a pink pair underneath, and he played more of a flamboyant, almost gay type of character. And it was pretty funny to see. And then the main event was a mask versus hair match with Kayam from the Los Chivos and trying to remember the other guy's name, forgive me, versus Enigma de Oro from the Chivos and Infernal Sombra. Oh, Barrio Boy. That was the other guy on the other team, excuse me. So it was Kayam and Barrio Boy versus Enigma de Oro and Infernal Sombra. And this match, for me, was just a cluster F and a half. I had to catch myself there because the boy's actually in the room today as I film. It was a cluster F and a half. I mean, seriously. I've never been to a Lucha Pro show, but they run, I believe, every week, pretty much out of the same venue. So I've seen flyers and heard reports, and I was lost as to why the Chivos were on opposite sides. Nothing about the match made sense to me. It was like the match ended with pinfalls, but then it kept going, and Enigma and Infernal, who were a team, ended up fighting each other, and the loser of those two either lost the mask or got their head shaved. It was just bad storytelling, bad booking in my opinion, because a lot of people there were lost, not just me and my group. But the worst part about the show, just to make clear before I get into this, 3 of the 4 matches were good. Hats off to Hector, Sean Winchester, Sean Heads, Mikey O'Shea, Blood Eagle. Those were all great matches. Fun, good storytelling, good back and forth action. The worst part of the night, though, was the kids. And people are going to hear that and be like, "Ah, Renegade, you're a D-bag for hating on kids." No, I'm not. If you were there, you'd understand what I'm saying. Kids were constantly trying to get into the ring. I can understand to an extent allowing the kids in the ring before the show, after the show, maybe. Maybe not necessarily in this case, in this show, because there was blood in the ring and there was hair in the ring. So I probably wouldn't let a kid in after that, but before the show, after the show. But once the opening bell rings, keep those kids out of there. It's like, seriously, Enigma and Infernal are like beating on each other after Infernal's had his head shaved, and kids are trying to get up on the ring apron. All it would have taken is one Irish whip or something. One of the wrestlers hits the rope, knocks the kid down onto the concrete, cracked skull, paramedics are showing up, and that's a lawsuit. And it would have been the wrestler's fault, not the kids. And I think that's bull. So, now that I've gotten that out of the way, would I go to Lucha Pro again? I would probably give them one more shot on another day. You know, the whole fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me mentality. But we'll have to see if something develops that makes me want to go back there. Now, on to your viewer-submitted questions. Dun dun dun. From Facebook, Jonathan Haddix. Hey JJ, if booked right and WWE had the right talent, would you bring back the Light Heavyweight Championship? Abso-freaking-lutely. I missed the Light Heavyweight, Cruiserweight Championship, whatever you wanted to call it in the WWE. I think WWE has some of the right talent that's not getting booked and used in other ways. They've got Yoshitatsu, they've got Tyson Kidd, they've got Justin Gabriel. You know, they've got Evan Bourne when he comes back from injury. They've still got Rey Mysterio. They've got quite a few guys that could seriously anchor that division down and help bring the light heavyweight or cruiserweight title, whichever one they want to use, back to prominence. Excuse me. And it would be good for a show like WWE Main Event to actually have a championship that's defended on it regularly. You know, I still think that maybe Zack Ryder's Internet Championship should be activated and defended on shows like Superstars, since those are Internet exclusive TV shows now. And what better way to help bring Main Event along by having a title that's always defended on that show, because you know the cruiserweights are going to get lost in the shuffle on Raw and SmackDown. So make them featured on the Main Event. From YouTube, Golden Eagle 407. Hey JJ, what would WWE look like if they went TVG or lower? Remember characters like the Goon, Doink the Clown, the Gobbledygooker? Yeah, that's what you'd be seeing. It's a lot of that stuff. Everyone bitch's and complains about TVPG. We'd have members of the WWE Universe committing suicide if it went to TVG. The WWE Universe would be going emo and slitting their wrists and stuff. Longhorn Fan 11,000. When Sasha Derevko is called up to WWE if they wanted him, Cesaro, Drew McIntyre, Sheamus, Wade Barrett, and Regal as a stable along with Sasha, would it be any good, and what would their name be? I think it would be called the Foreign Legion, and they would be like Evolution. Foreign Legion is definitely a good name for all those guys, considering their pedigree and where from the country they're from. You know, you'd have Cesaro from Switzerland, Drew from Scotland, Sheamus from Ireland, Wade and Regal from England, Sasha the Russian. The only thing I'd maybe add to that is throw a heel Kofi Kingston in there, representing Africa. Really make it more of a Foreign Legion type of gimmick. I think they would be a great stable because with Regal's mindset and his knowledge of the business, he would definitely be the Ric Flair type of role in Evolution, where he's kind of there mentoring the kids. You know, you've got Sheamus, who's proven himself as a multi-time world champion. You've got guys like Barrett and Drew, who are on the cusp of greatness, if given their proper time to shine. And then you'd have guys like Cesaro and Derevko, who would totally kind of be in that Orton and Batista spot that they were in Evolution, where you can just totally see the potential in them, but it takes something to bring them to greatness. And this could totally be that thing. Ed Smith asks me about the ROH invasion angle that I addressed last Friday on the show. He says, what about Tyler Black, aka Seth Rollins, on your ROH faction? And even Colt Cabana, who Punk has been trying to get into WWE. Well, the main reason I left Seth Rollins out is because he's already got this thing going with, I guess they're calling themselves the Shield now, with Ambrose and Roman Reigns. I wouldn't want to pull him away from that just yet, because I think the team in of itself will flounder if Seth Rollins isn't there, because WWE Brass, although they see the potential in Roman Reigns, they're a little concerned about him because he's the greenest one of them all with the least amount of mic ability. So if it was just left to Dean Ambrose to carry the mic ability, that the Shield would go like nowhere fast. I drink lots of beer. Thanks for answering my question about the inaugural brawl. Another question, if you could take any face and turn him heel, apart from Super Cena or Super Orton, who would turn and why? Okay. I answered this question last Friday. I gave like 5 people I would turn, and I only think one of them I gave was Cena. I didn't even list Orton. The main babyface I would turn heel right now is Kofi Kingston. He has been showing signs of aggression with the feud that he was doing with The Miz over the IC title pre-Miz's face turn, that I think that aggression could be channeled and put into a tremendous heel character. You know, why am I not getting anywhere out of the IC US division? Why am I teaming up with somebody that's got an imaginary friend with him? You know, do y'all just think I'm this joke? Okay, let me show you how much of a joke I really am. I still think, as funny and stupid as it would look on TV, he needs to give the Trouble in Paradise to Lil Jimmy. Everyone will think that Kofi Kingston's lost his rocker just doing this move to the air, but when he grabs the microphone and says, no, I didn't just do that, I took out Little Jimmy, the WWE Universe is going to be like, wow, he took out Little Jimmy? That's effed up, Kofi. Why are you taking out Little Jimmy? What did he ever do to you? And it could be built on. It would start off very silly and lame sounding, but I know that once the seeds are planted, it could grow into a great angle and storyline. Nappy 1987. Hey JJ, what is the most brutal, hardcore match you have ever seen? Well, Nappy 1987, I have a hunch here that you like extreme, because you sent a similar question to Statboy asking him about the 10 most extreme moments in wrestling. This answer may surprise you. I've only seen it once, maybe twice, because I used to have a VHS with this match. And I hope I pronounced the names right. But the most brutal, hardcore match I've ever seen was Megumi Kudo versus Combat Toyoda, Toyoda. 2 women in a women's electrified barbed wire match. You can find the match on FMW, that's Frontier Martial Arts Wrestling's King of the Death Match DVD or VHS tape. That match was insane. To see two chicks out there having an electrified barbed wire match just blew my mind. And the last question for today from Rabid Pit 189. One thing that has always been and will always be true about the wrestling business is the constant rehashing of a successful gimmick. That being said, how long do you think it'll be before we see Bobby Roode and RVD form a tag team called Weed Money? I think that would be effing hilarious, but I don't think that'll happen. Granted, it seems like TNA doesn't really care about a wellness policy per se, but I think that they would be doing a grave injustice to the industry if they tried to capitalize on something like that and made a team called Weed Money. So, that is it for my questions today. Tomorrow will be December 1st. So, beginning on Monday, technically, December 3rd, you will be able to find all new episodes of Renegade Wrestling, In the Pink, Stat Boy Rants, and Chicks on Wrestling on our YouTube page, youtube.com/Renegade Wrestling, as well as on UnlimitedRadio247.net. That merger goes into effect officially tomorrow, the 1st. But the first brand new show will be Renegade on the 3rd. So be on the lookout for that. Make sure you go to UnlimitedRadio247.net to stay up to date with us, because there will probably be news items being able to be posted up there now regarding us and updates. You know, if we need to take a hiatus for a couple of days for something, probably be able to find news about it up there. Also, starting tomorrow, December 1st, we are going to be doing kind of like we did last year with the 31 days of interviews, but it's not going to be interviews. We're giving you 31 days of holiday specials, basically. Last year, if you may remember, we filmed 11 different holiday specials featuring any combination of Jeff, Jade, myself, Stat Boy, Double A. Even Teresa was in the house for a few of those. Dylan even made a guest appearance on the Dads on Wrestling Christmas Specials edition. So we have those 11 episodes that we're going to be re-upping in HD for viewing again. Pinky is going to be doing her picks for Christmas specials, Christmas movies, and Christmas songs on special episodes of In the Pink. Her regular episodes will be airing, and then the special ones will be airing also. We have found episodes of Ringside Insanity and Dads on Wrestling that have never aired. Those will be presented for you the first time ever during the month of December. On their regular air dates, RSIs will be going up on Wednesday, the ones we found, and Dads on Wrestling will be going up on Thursdays for the couple that we found, just like they used to air. So be on the lookout for that throughout the month of December. Yeah, that's about it for this week on Renegade Wrestling. So we hope you enjoy the shows that are going to be coming up in the next month. Of course, if you have any questions you'd like for me to answer, either leave them in the comment box or go to the Facebook pages, send me a tweet at ROWJJWilliams, or even post a video response. Give me a video response question and I'll download it and edit your video into the show answering your question. And you'll get to see your face on an episode of Renegade Wrestling. So, that all being said, be on the lookout for us regular days both here and on UnlimitedRadio247.net, and we will see you next time right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel and UnlimitedRadio247.net.